Happy Halloween! So I want to start my YouTube channel off on one of my favorite holidays, which is Halloween. And I wanted to start it off with how I became vegan or plant-based. Just so we're on the same page, a lot of vegans and the vegan community like to keep vegan more so for the animals and the environment. And I didn't get rid of all my leather or anything like that. I started in February of 2017 because of health reasons. So in January, February of last year, I was just now learning about, being plant-based vegan, things like that. But how it got started was a little different, I think. And I realized how I got started months and months and months after I got started. So basically, every morning I would wake up and I would be headed to work. And at that time, I was, I had a typical American diet. I was eating a little bit of fast food, but not really. I tried to stay away from fast food. And I would, eat a lot of chicken, turkey, a lot of dairy. I didn't eat very much beef or steak. I just never liked it. Like, I would probably have maybe one steak a year, maybe 2 hamburgers a year, mostly all chicken, turkey, sandwiches, stuff like that. So around that time, I was, just on a basic diet, and I had really bad skin, super bad cystic acne. I'd spent thousands of dollars on trying to clear up my skin, seeing dermatologists, trying out different medications, ointments, just everything. And nothing worked, and I would go on different diets here and there, and none of them would work. I was always bloated. I was always having acid reflux. I was on antidepressant medicine. I was on anxiety medicine, insomnia. I mean, you name it, I had a medication for it. And I would just, every day just pop the pills and didn't think much of it. So one day, I was just sick and tired of everything, sick and tired of living this life that I felt like was getting nowhere, that I was unhappy with. I was unhappy with my looks. I was unhappy with my body. I was unhappy with everything. And I would just stare at myself in the mirror, and I would just imagine myself with clear skin. I would imagine myself not being bloated. I would imagine myself just being a different person. And every morning on the way to work, I would just think in my head, what, is there a way, do I really have to suffer for how long do I have to suffer for? What don't I know about? What haven't I tried yet? Why do I still feel like this? I hate myself. I really did. And so every morning I was doing that, and then probably about 2 weeks of doing that and just, really consuming my thoughts about, this life that I wanted, imagining this life that I wanted to create. I went home one day and I just felt a little different. I was like, you know what, I'm going to turn off the TV. I'm going to turn off Netflix. I don't want to watch it anymore. I'm sick and tired of watching the same stupid stuff. So I turned it off, and I decided I wanted to start reading. I wanted to, open up some articles or read a magazine, anything besides watch TV. So I opened up an article app, and the very first article that popped up was how dairy was linked to acne. And I mean, that was my face. I was like, say what? That's my favorite food. I love chips and queso. Are you kidding me? So, but I was so curious, and I wanted to know. I mean, I would have done anything to get rid of my cystic acne. It's so painful, and with an image-based job, I've had people point it out. Why are you breaking out so bad? I know. You think I want this? So I was very interested in reading the article, and I went into my kitchen right after I read that article, and I realized that I had, 15, 16 things of yogurt and just, full of meat and everything. And in the article, it was mostly talking about dairy, but it kind of dabbed into meat also. So I was, okay, I was like, I'm not eating any meat, not eating any dairy, none of that. And the next morning, I took all the stuff to work, just trying to pass it out so I didn't have to throw it away. And I ordered a salad, and I ate a salad for 2 weeks. 2 full weeks I ate salad. But I did see, my skin started to clear up. I lost a lot of weight, almost too much weight. But I had less bloating. I was feeling way different. But at the same time, I was feeling really tired. I was feeling, I had headaches. I knew that it wasn't good. I felt like I was going to pass out, and people were starting to comment like, are you sick? Because I was losing so much weight so rapidly because I was not getting enough nutrients. And I didn't know about vitamins or anything like that, because all I did was just read that article and then just was like, thought I knew everything about being vegan or being plant-based. I thought all vegans and all plant-based people ate salad. So I just kind of kept my mind in a little box until I went to Whataburger one day. And with some friends, we had some drinks and stuff. It was late night. I was hungry. And I got a chicken sandwich. And I was like, I like the results I'm seeing, but at the end of the day, like, I feel like I was like way too malnourished, like not nourished enough in my food and the things that I was eating. So I was like, this isn't good. I gotta eat something. I'm starving. So I bit into the chicken sandwich and I looked at it. And I will never forget, like, literally pus. The pus that you squeeze out of your zits was in the chicken sandwich. It was just full of pus. It was squirting out. It was greasy. There was bloody veins in it. I was like literally spit it out. Like, I wanted to like brush my tongue off. And I crumpled it up and threw it away. And my friend was looking at me like, are you okay? And I was like, I'm done. I don't care what it takes. I'm never, ever, ever going to eat chicken again. I don't care what it takes. I'm never going to do it again. So after that, it opened up my mind. And I went and did a lot of research. I mean, day and night, just researching what do vegans eat. And oh my gosh, my mind was blown. I was like, I can't believe I was living in a little box, like not realizing that there's vegan processed food, there's fruits and vegetables. I mean, there's everything out there. So I started, the way that I feel like most people start is they start with eating processed vegan food, which is so close. They're doing such a good job with mimicking actual meat products into the vegan products that you really can't even tell. I've tricked so many people and I'm like, hey, I didn't want this. It's not vegan. So, just trying to like wait and see, or maybe I wouldn't even say that it's not vegan. I'll just say like, hey, you want to try this sandwich? And they're just like, yeah, sure. And they're like, ooh, this is good. Where'd you get it from? And I'm like, from the plant-based aisle in the grocery store. And they're like, what do you mean? You mean this isn't real chicken? And I'm like, nope. So there's this weird thing going around that's like, all vegan food tastes bad. And it's like, if you think that, then that means you obviously haven't had any vegan food. And so you have no opinion because you haven't actually tried it. And maybe you have tried it and what you tried was gross. I've had a lot of vegan options that I've bought in the freezer aisle and things like that are disgusting. And you just have to learn what you like and what you don't like. So after that, I did all this research. I started going to the grocery store, started buying food, cooking. I made a blog, made, all these recipes that I liked. And I started stumbling across people who were fully raw, which means you only eat fruits and vegetables. And I was like, not gonna happen. And then eventually I evolved, and now that's pretty much all I eat. So during this process also, I wasn't really paying attention to every little thing that my body was going through. I noticed my skin cleared up. I noticed that I wasn't bloated anymore, the two things that I was aiming towards, but I also noticed that I wasn't reaching for any of my prescriptions anymore. I haven't touched any prescriptions since that time, actually. I haven't had refills. I didn't need it anymore. My body didn't need those things anymore. I was happy. I'm not eating animals. I wasn't eating any animals that were depressed, and I talked about that on my Instagram Live, that if you're chasing down a chicken or chasing down a cow or whatever, and the cow is depressed and scared, which animals do have feelings, they do get scared, those hormones pump through the chicken just like it pumps through us when we get emotions. And if we're eating the chicken that was just scared and depressed, caged its whole life, then we are eating the anxiety and the depression and the fear. That's why a lot of people eat caged-free animals, because they don't want to eat all those hormones making them feel bad. So that was a big reason why I didn't need my depression medicine anymore and things like that. Also, my skin wasn't breaking out, causing me to be stressed out, causing me to be depressed anymore. Literally, all of my issues that were mostly physical went down the drain, all because I changed my diet. And in a later video, I want to talk about the reaction I got, because that's pretty funny too. But after, it had been 5 or 6 months, and I started to realize that the very, very beginning started with me basically manifesting what I have now, which is clear skin. I wanted those things when I was driving down the car and I would imagine those things. I was creating them into the physical form, which I want to talk about later. But at the beginning, I thought, oh, I just decided one day I wanted to turn off my TV and read articles and read books. But really, I was asking for information to come to me. And that's how I really got started. So that's how I got started. I want to talk more into some of the things I eat now and how to cook while being vegan and being raw, and the differences between being raw and eating processed vegan food for me, how my body reacts differently to both, and things like that. I want to talk about it later, and about how this was a spiritual journey. This entire journey that I've been on has been a very spiritual journey, and how being vegan is very spiritual. So, thanks for watching.